Hi, Stepford Escapee. I was watching your videos this morning, and your one video in particular, Decisions, my comment just outgrew the little comment box, so you're getting a video response instead. Um, it just struck, home with me all the way across the board. I've been there in so many of those situations. First of all, the roller coaster ride and the balance will come. It really does. I mean, I've been through some extreme life changing situations in my life, and you do feel like you're on an e-ticket roller coaster, and with the extreme highs and lows, and it's really scary, and and all that kind of stuff. But balance has always come. As long as I kept moving forward, balance finally came, and this situation is no different. Um, the I can look at your videos and see that you're on the right path. Now, granted, I don't know you in real life, but I can look at your older videos versus the videos you're making today, and there's a light coming from you. There's a twinkle in your eye. There's a lightness about you that is different than the older ones. The older ones, there was more of a dark cloud over your head, and so even if you're struggling, there's still that lightness about you that I see. And for me, that's a real gauge to how somebody's doing, because they can say they're fine all day long, but you can actually see it more than what they say. And I definitely see it in you, um, that you're definitely on the right path. Regarding the finances, oh man, have I been there. Um, when I pulled myself up out of the gutter when I was 28, I was in so much debt. It might as well have been millions of dollars as far as I was concerned. I was so far in the hole, and had no idea how to get out. Well, there was a lot of suggestions that came my way, and the one that actually worked for me, I don't know if it will work in your situation, but it worked for me, was the snowball effect. So I budgeted out how much I could pay after rent and stuff like that, how much I had left over. And I divvied that up amongst all of my creditors evenly. And of course, they balked and they'd call and all that kind of stuff, but I was doing the best I could. Um, the one thing I was paying consistently. I had this much marked off for these bills, and I paid it consistently, and I paid them evenly across the board. Well, what happened was my smallest one got paid off first. So that rolled over into the next one, and that got paid off quicker and rolled over into the next one until I was left with the big one. And all of the money that I had allotted now was going towards that. And that actually got paid off quicker than I expected. Um, I mean, it didn't happen overnight, but it was definitely every month there was progress. Every month I felt like I was heading in the right direction, and I stopped feeling so overwhelmed because I was starting to see results. Things were heading in the right direction, and I was making a dent. And eventually, I did get completely out of debt, and I've remained relatively out of debt since then. Regarding this crossroads that you're in your life, you've got decisions, and it's probably none of my business, but I'm gonna encourage you to throw in motivation into the pros and cons list as well, just because I know in my own personal life that every decision that I've made based in fear has been the wrong decision. Um, they've been everywhere from extremely unhappy to downright damaging and dangerous, and decisions that I chose not to follow because I was afraid, I've regretted my whole life. And so when you're doing your pros and cons list, like I said, I strongly suggest to throw motivation in there as well and take a look at that. Um, because I know the makeup thing for you is your passion. I can see it when you talk about it. You light up when you talk about it. It makes you happy. And, like for me in my sewing, it was a few years ago that I decided to jump into the sewing business, and I was dead broke for the first year. Every time I turned around, there was something that I needed. There was insurance that I wasn't covered, or there was, this or that or the other, some equipment that I needed. And it just seemed like I had money going out and nothing coming in, and it was really scary. Um, but I was encouraged to just keep giving it a try. And now I'm in the black. I'm not making a lot of money, but my bills are paid. And I'm in the black, and some months it's change in the black, and or a dollar in the black, but I'm in the black. And so I heading in the right direction. And I love it. I absolutely love it. One of the things that I did both when trying to get myself out of the rut financially and in trying to start this business was I just put feelers out. I was always taking, odd jobs, evening jobs, etc. Some of them were very interesting jobs. One of the most interesting was around the holidays. There was an adult bookstore that somebody recommended that I apply for because they were looking for, holiday help. And I could work the midnight shift. And it turned out to be great because I was a somewhat relatively normal looking person. And it was when you'd get these couples in and the girl would be freaking out to see someone relatively normal looking behind the counter, it did put them at ease. And so he did like me to come in on the holidays. But yeah, I did, and even the sewing, I put the feelers out and got a lot of little odd jobs doing that. And you are in a very unique niche as a makeup artist. Not only are you a makeup artist, but you're a makeup artist with movies under her belt. People can go to IMDb and find you there, which is a heck of a thing to have on your resume. So put feelers out, flyers, high schools, junior high schools, community colleges, local playhouses, dance studios, makeup, beauty salons that don't include makeup, bridal shops, tuxedo rentals, etc. Not only is there a market for people who need their makeup done for special occasions, but I don't know anybody who wouldn't love to learn how to do the dramatic makeup. And if you could do the gooey stuff too, I bet you can get the guys as well. But yeah, colleges in, adult teaching annexes and stuff like that, you might even be able to get a little evening class going and teach people how to do it as well. But yeah, you are in a unique niche for side stuff. And again, like I said, this is probably none of my business. But I know when I was crawling out of my little rut, I had no idea how to think outside the box. I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. And the suggestions that people around me gave helped me get out of the rut, get out of the box, get out of the one-dimensional thinking. I was able to learn how to think in a more well-rounded way. And that helped solve problems. When problems come up, I can now look at many dimensions rather than just the black or white thing. But yeah, I would just hate for you to give up the dream that I can see that you love, just because of being afraid. And it can be scary. And again, I don't know your full situation. And that's why I'm just encouraging you to throw motivation into the pros and cons list. Anyway, I'm rooting for you, girl. I really am rooting for you. And loving the hair. I have to tell you, I love the hair. And anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye.